Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex. And today I want to talk about game fatigue, because for Marvel Future Fight it's a daily game that you have to log in and play every day if you want to keep up with everything that's going on, the login events, other players, farming, and especially for, players who have been in the game for a long time, intermediate, veteran players, it can feel like quite a bit of a grind after the 2-year mark has set in. So I wanted to discuss that, and not so much on the boredom side of things, but more on the side of what you can do to keep things kind of spicy and keep them interesting, despite the fact that you're essentially doing most of the same routine tasks day in and day out. Now, I do want to start by saying that I have experienced this myself, especially because I stream the game almost every single day on Twitch. So I do have days where it just doesn't feel that much fun to play, or it feels quite monotonous. Thankfully, I do also have Twitch bros telling me different things that I should try out, and giving me new ways to kind of look at the game in different perspectives to view the same game modes in, and that's what I wanted to impart on you guys today. And I wanted to give you some ideas for things that you can do to make things a little bit better. So the first one I have is actually one that I've discussed previously with you guys before in another video, and it relates to Shadowland. It's not really possible anymore with Shadowland because there are now 30 floors, and notoriously the last 5 are extremely difficult. But with the old Shadowland, especially towards the latter stages, just before it was updated, it was quite easy to clear it, and you could put a lot of restrictions on yourself that would make the run a little bit more difficult, but it would still definitely be doable. So we've already covered the kind of only one type clear, which only applies to universal types but can be completed, especially if you have a lot of tier 2s. Another thing that my chat suggested frequently that I haven't done yet is a no uniform challenge. So I can't use any character with their uniform. I have to strip everyone's uniforms off, get them down to their base look, and then try to clear all of the content. Alternatively, you could try to only use characters that don't even have a uniform yet. That would probably be a little bit too difficult with this current form, but you could try it at least for the first 10 or 15 or 20 or 25 floors. And the beauty of things like this are that it's entertaining for you. You get to see characters in a new light, and you get to kind of take a new perspective on the game, which might help you understand it even more, and gives you a secondary appreciation for what you already have in the game. So by taking away the uniforms, I'm appreciating the characters as they exist. Another variation of this, and one that I find a lot more entertaining, but I wasn't able to find a clip for you guys, is a challenge that was suggested to me around World Boss. World Boss is now a lot better because you can choose who you fight each day, but with the previous iteration, World Boss was quite annoying because you had to fight the same person on the same days of the week. So every Monday, for example, I'd be fighting Corvus, and that would never change because it's on a 7-day cycle. And that was quite frustrating. Now the way it works is different, but with that old previous iteration, if you were bored of World Boss, you could try to spice things up. And of course, you could use underpowered character. That's always an option to try and see just how low you can make your expectations and how inch by inch you can squeak out a victory. But I think it was more entertaining to do something that was suggested to me by some of the fans, which involved only using certain skills of a character throughout the entire fight, in the fight. So one example that I remember vividly that I can't find a clip for is with Yondu. Yondu is a great character, and when this challenge was originally posed to me, I chose Yondu as my first character because I think Yondu has very good, solid skills, especially with his new uniform. All of his skills deal good damage, they all are consistent. And so I thought, okay, if I can only use one skill, I'll just go around using Yondu's second skill or Yondu's 5th skill, for example. And just kind of using a lot of kiting, using the 5th skill's barrier technique. I could avoid taking damage. I think I was fighting against a Black Dwarf, and I could consistently deal damage, and especially because it was energy damage, it would work. You can also do variations on this where you can only use 2 or 3 skills, but they're different skills like 1, 2, and 3. That was a much more difficult challenge, but I got it done because 3 has an iframe and 2 deals respectable damage. And so you can see how you have kind of almost infinite combinations when it comes to these kind of ideas, as long as you can be creative enough to come up with some of them, whether you're borrowing it from your friend, you're sharing it with someone online, or you're just taking it straight out of this video. There are a lot of different things that you can do. And I feel it's important to discuss things like this because given the way the update cycle works for Marvel Future Fight, it is very clear that in the days and weeks that come right before a new update, a lot of the content can feel quite repetitive for the veterans of the game, even ones that are not investing heavily in it with crystals and money, because even though you've unlocked all the characters or you're in the process of unlocking them, the steps that you're making each day to unlock them is basically the same. So right now I'm not spending any crystals on unlocking Apocalypse. People have asked me why am I not ranking up Apocalypse. I'm doing it kind of the free to play style for Apocalypse specifically. I'm not interested in spending thousands of crystals to unlock him just to fight him in a world boss, just to not have enough feathers to rank him up. But that means that I'm going to have to fight Scarlet Witch and whoever my bonus world boss is in a kind of a repetitive fashion, the way I had been doing for the past few months, even before this Age of Apocalypse update. So this even applies to you if the content that you're using and you're participating in isn't even that old. You can get kind of to the end of new content relatively soon if it's not something like an epic quest, especially if it's something like special missions for Spider-Man when they introduced the new Sinister Six. That content was very light and you didn't really have to get through anything aside from unlocking and ranking up the different Sinister Six, so you could absolutely do different things in these stages. You can even do things that will benefit yourself and others. For example, you can see which stage clears the fastest given the same character, so you know, try Wolverine on all 5 stages and time how long it takes him to clear each stage to figure out which stage is the fastest to clear. Hint, hint, it's Lizard. You can also do something that I did more recently, which is find out which stage gives you the most gold, which is Rhino's stage. And you can even try out different combinations to see which character and which team-ups will clear the fastest. Now, I know this doesn't apply so much to beginners, but all beginners will eventually become veterans. So this will apply to you and the kind of monotony will set in. And so something like this and these kinds of ideas are good because they're going to allow you to kind of avoid getting burnt out of the game possibly, and to see the game in a new way and keep things fresh and keep things interesting. So for example, when I'm clearing World Boss or Shadowland, a lot of times people in chat will ask me, why are you using such weak characters? You have so many strong tier 2s, you have so many native tier 2s. Why are you using all these weak tier 2 characters or weak tier 1 characters? And that would be the answer. The fact that I don't want things to get monotonous, so I'm using these underpowered characters primarily to see what they can do, but secondarily to have a little bit more fun and handicap myself and give myself more difficulty to kind of clear the content in a new way and in a fun and in a refreshing way. So I wanted to leave you guys with an example of a clear that I did with 3 familiar kind of brothers, and hopefully you guys will enjoy seeing that, and maybe it will give you some incentive to do this for yourself. So let me know what you guys think of this idea. Let me know what your tips are for keeping things fresh and kind of staving off the monotony when the game gets a bit grindy and a bit slow for you. And of course, if you're having fun, I hope you're subscribing, and I hope to see you again tomorrow. Take care. Oh yeah, buddy. Gotta do this Goomba show. Absolutely. Moobot hacked all those accounts. Yeah, buddy, I got 5 guys, 6 guys, 5 guys, 6 guys, 6 guys. I think his 5th skill's a full iframe. That's impressive. I mean, the damage is not very good, but it's okay. It's Hogan, guys. This is amazing. Go, my boys. No, he can't die. I said he can't die. No! I've abandoned my boy. Alright, here's my second boy. That's not an iframe. Oh, that's not an iframe. Okay, why is Fandral the weakest? Here's why. Because, well, Fandral and Hogan aren't dead yet. Guys, they're right there. Yo, Volstag's booking it, dog. With me. Almost like too thick, dude. Oh, I took damage right at the end. Hell yeah.